Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be covering some potential changes I would make to Melbourne's tram network. To be clear, this video will not be covering extensions, but instead rerouting existing lines to better serve different parts of the city. None of these changes would require any substantial amount of new track, aside from some new crossovers, stops or spurs, meaning that overall they should be pretty easy to implement. I will not be covering any proposed changes that could happen to the network post-Metro tunnel, as it's still unclear whether these will actually take place. Phillip Mallis already has a great video covering this, so I'll have that linked in the description. So without further ado, let's get started on the first video of 2025. The first change I would make is with tram routes 11 and 86. Both of these routes run through Northcote and Thornbury, the 11 along St George's Road and the 86 along High Street, with the 11 terminating at West Preston, while the 86 continues all the way out to Bundoora. These two routes have an unused connection at Preston, often called the Preston Depot Hump, allowing trams to cross between lines on Miller Street. Currently, this is only used by trams accessing the depot, and very occasionally during disruptions. I propose that we swap the routes of the 11 and the 86, having the 86 run along St George's Road and the 11 along High Street. There are a few reasons for this, but the main one is because of High Street. High Street is an incredibly busy shopping street for its entire length, and also sees heavy patronage as a result. The 86 travels all the way through Bundoora, and can get very packed even before reaching this street, and generally leads to an unpleasant experience overall. High Street is also much slower than St George's Road, as the latter is separated from car traffic in a wide median. The timetable has St George's Road down as 2 minutes faster than High Street, which may not sound like a lot, but this difference can grow with peak hour traffic. Sending the 86 down St George's Road would greatly benefit those catching a tram from Bundoora and Reservoir with a more reliable commute. The 11 is much better equipped to handle the patronage on High Street, especially since the section north of Miller Street has some of the lowest ridership on the network, and trams generally aren't that busy. This change would also mean a new non-radial connection between the 11 and 86 in Preston, something desperately needed for tram routes in the northern suburbs, which has many routes going north to south, but not a single one that runs east to west. All that would really be necessary for this to go ahead is a new stop on Miller Street to allow an interchange between the newly rerouted lines, making this one of the cheapest proposals in this video. The next proposal I have involves Route 16. The terminus of the 16 is labeled as Q. This is correct, however the part of Q the 16 ends in is not the main part of Q. That would be Q Junction, about 700 meters west of the 16. Having this tram go to Q Junction would absolutely increase ridership, and provide an important connection between Kew and Hawthorn, as well as other places further south along Route 16. There are a few issues here. Firstly, the terminus of the 16 is currently single track, so you may need to relay an extra track here, although as the single track section is so incredibly short, being approximately one tram length long, you could potentially get away with just some reprogramming of the traffic lights to prevent two trams from occupying the same space. There's no place to safely terminate trams at Q Junction itself, but there is actually a great place to do it a little further down the line at Q Tram Depot, with this little siding on the east side of the depot. You'd need to construct a new crossover here to allow trams to access it from both tracks. This solution may seem a little weird, considering that the 16 doesn't use Q as its depot, but there's actually already another place on the network where trams use a different depot to terminate, at Brunswick Depot on Route 6. Some Route 6 trams run out of Malvern, but use Brunswick to reverse and head back to the city. Therefore, I don't see why a similar idea couldn't be implemented here. My next proposal involves the Swanson Street tram corridor. Currently, there are 2 Melbourne University tram stops. One on Swanson Street, which is the end of the line for 6 different tram routes, and the lesser known one on Royal Parade, which is served only by the 19, also near the Parkville Hospital precinct. Despite serving the western side of Melbourne University, the stop itself doesn't mention this, and was recently renamed to Royal Melbourne Hospital and Parkville Station. Later this year, Parkville Station will open, and is projected to be one of the busiest stations in the entire city, so having it be served by just one tram route seems like a bit of a waste. Therefore, I think 1 or 2 of the 6 routes that currently terminate at Swanson Street could be diverted over here, using the currently unused section of tram track along Victoria Street, potentially including a new stop there as well. The line would then follow the 19, past the Haymarket roundabout, before ending at the Parkville Station stop. You would need to construct a new terminus here, somewhere along the Royal Parade median. As for which of these routes to divert, I'm not really sure. If I had to pick, I'd say the 72, as it currently serves another important hospital, the Alfred Hospital in Prahran, and a direct connection to Parkville could definitely be useful here, but really it could be any route that currently ends at Melbourne Uni on Swanston Street. My final proposal involves Route 12. This one is similar to the 16, with the 12 ending in St Kilda, but on a small side street, missing a connection to the beach, Luna Park, the Palais Theatre, and Ackland Street, the main attractions in the St Kilda area. The current terminus stop at Ackland Street is one of the busiest on the network, and is served only by Route 96. And trams are often full before even starting the route. Route 12, despite only using smaller trams, still has capacity to spare, as the southern section of the route travels mostly through smaller inner suburban side streets, with the most patronage going to the 96. New track would be required to connect the 12 to Fitzroy Street, as currently there's just a single track curve that goes the other way. With that said, thanks for watching this video. I'm sure there are many other potential extensions that I haven't covered here, so maybe those will be saved for a future video. Thank you to my channel members for supporting my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.